I ain't never shit this on nobody. There ain't a lot of people come to me with that in my whole life since I was a little boy.
A few inches later.
RD never made a statement as of now?
Not to the FBI, but that evening it appears from the material that they produced and from the agent's testimony is that RD gave a statement that evening, but since that evening has not given another statement. But the FBI said in the future they're all scheduled to give statements, so we'll have to see.
Pooh Shiesty had a bond hearing this morning. His mother went live showing that she was on her way to the courthouse.
6.5 hours later.
A federal judge ordered Memphis rapper Lontrell Williams Jr., who goes by Pooh Shiesty, to stay in custody after federal officials brought kidnapping and robbery charges against him.
Fox 4 Stephen Dial was in the courtroom today. He is outside tonight with more details on what happened. Stephen?
Steve, I sat directly behind Lontrell Williams Jr., who you guys said goes by the rap name Pooh Shiesty, for the entire hearing in the very small, tightly packed courtroom. And after back and forth from the prosecution and the defense, the federal judge said that she found probable cause in the alleged kidnapping and robbery charges that Williams Jr. faces involving Atlanta rapper Gucci Mane. And as the FBI special agent was giving testimony, I could see Williams Jr. shaking his head multiple times in disagreement with all of the allegations being laid out against him. This incident happened back in January, and federal officials actually charged and arrested multiple individuals, including Williams' father and another rapper known as Big 30 and other suspects last week. Williams has a record deal with Atlanta rapper Gucci Mane under the new 1017 record label. The FBI says that Pooh Shiesty pointed an AK-style pistol while demanding to be released from his contract. Investigators say that they were able to track Williams from his ankle monitor and photos suspects allegedly posted on social media. In court, Williams Jr. legal team argued that there's many holes in the FBI's narrative of what happened.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
More alert today is your boy Rock Carmichael. Rock Carmichael is a former NFL defensive back, elite trainer, and mentor to the next generation of athletes. On his YouTube channel, Rock break down real training sessions and give you pro-level coaching tips and share insightful NFL commentary you won't hear on no other YouTube channel but the 1% Network. The link will be down below. Make sure y'all tap in.
Virginia Tech cornerback Rashad Carmichael was the leader of a young Hokies defense last season and one of college football's best boundary corners.
Pooh Shiesty bond was denied, but we all expected that. But what his lawyer Bradford Cohen just said at this press conference got the internet going crazy. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. It's your boy Music 101, the Street Reporter, and I'm back with another video. Let's get into it.
Ready?
Would you say your name first real quick?
Yeah, Bradford Cohen, C-O-H-E-N, Sam Zengane, and John Helms.
And any questions, just look straight into it.
Yeah, you got it.
Thank you.
So we had a bond hearing today and a PC hearing today. I think that the relevant things that were said today that I thought were fascinating were that it took 3 months to build a case. And I think the reason for that was because the statements that were given on the evening that this occurred were very questionable. I think the way that the statements were made, what allegedly was witnessed and what wasn't witnessed, I think gave great pause to the FBI. The FBI doesn't take 3 months to arrest someone if they believe everything that was said on the night that it occurred. They were involved the first night and then nothing happened for 3 months. In addition to that I thought was quite embarrassing was that an FBI agent says they don't have the resources to keep their eye on an individual. This is allegedly an individual that committed a crime that they then didn't watch to see if the guns were present, if the jewelry was present. And what didn't we hear today? What we didn't hear today is there is no contract, this mystery contract. They have no contract. They have no video of this alleged signing of a contract. They have no guns. They have no jewelry. They have none of that physical evidence. What they have is they have allegedly 5 individuals, one of them being a very well-known individual that is allegedly cooperating with the government and making these allegations against my client and many more. I'm going to take like 1 or 2 questions and then we're going to scoot.
You're essentially arguing they've got only a he said kind of case, no evidence.
Correct. Yeah, it's very fair. I think that this is it's a he said type of a case. I mean, obviously, there's 5 individuals on one side. What we're missing are the other people that were present in the room, right? The owner of the studio, who says he didn't hear anything or see anything. The way they leave the studio, where no one is in concert with anybody else, no one's arguing with anyone else. One of the individuals says, "Hey, can I get my watches back?" Like, the story is quite unusual, and I think that the FBI knew that. I think the investigators knew that it was unusual, and I think that's why it took so long to make the arrest.
What is your response to the judge saying that your client still violated the terms of his ankle monitor location?
Sure, those are all things that are going to be, flushed out. The fact is that he was allowed to be in certain areas at certain times. That really wasn't an argument for today. I wasn't really even going to make that argument. My main thrust of today was to really push on the evidence and see exactly what they had and when they had. How about this? How about the individual who wrote the complaint, who actually drafted the complaint, who was sitting in the courtroom, who's only been an FBI agent for 4 years, does not take the stand? They put someone else on to say what she wrote in her own complaint when she's sitting in the courtroom. And that's done quite often in gamesmanship, because they don't want to put a rookie on the stand and be measured by our legal team.
How far away is this from trial?
Oh, who knows? We're going to get discovery. We'll take a look at their discovery. They're going to say it's ongoing. I mean, think about it. They had 3 months to get this stuff. They had 3 months to get warrants. They didn't get warrants that night. They didn't get warrants the next night. They didn't get warrants the next month. They didn't get warrants the month after. They waited 3 months to get warrants on whether or not there's guns, whether or not there's jewelry. How about their cell phones? How about the computers? That gives me great pause when I see a case that takes that long to get warrants, if you believe everything that was said on the evening that it occurs.
Does that have a top out of you?
Yeah, hold on, let me take one from her, because she was trying last night.
Can you say anything about the identity of RD, and then you also spoke about a social media post?
Correct. So, listen, I don't like when the government puts initials in and everyone takes a guess who they are. We all know who they are, right? I'm not going to say it's this person or that person. That's not my job to do. But certainly there have been media posts of individuals that we suspect were involved in that evening, where they're denying that it occurred, or they're denying that they're giving statements to the government. I think that's unusual as well. Because of what the government put forward today seems to negate those statements, but we'll have to see how this all shakes out. Listen, guys, Sam and I have had many cases together, right? We just finished a case a couple of years ago in San Francisco on the Cash App murder case. And whenever I talk to individuals, whenever I talk to media, I always say this is not a straight road. It's always a very winding road. So we never know where things are going to take us. We got to look at the evidence as it comes in, and we'll see what's there. I'm just shocked that, when they say there might be video out there, they don't have it. There might be this mystery contract, they don't have it. Oh, they were at Staples, making copies. It's just a total guess. So, we're not here to guess. I'm here to look at the evidence, to weigh the evidence, and to make the best decision based on that evidence.
Your client just stays in detention until what?
Yeah, currently he'll stay in detention. We'll get discovery. We'll start going through that. There's going to be several motions that we're going to file, obviously, in the next couple of weeks, but that'll all come out, and we'll give copies to everybody.
So did the feds even interview?
Look at my man.
Did the feds even interview any of the people yet? Any of the alleged victims?
So my understanding is the FBI has, over the past 3 or 4 months, has interviewed none of the alleged victims, and allegedly they all have future dates to give statements. But I have no idea if that's true. We're basing it on what the agent said on the stand, that each one of those witnesses from that evening is going to appear and give a statement to the federal authorities.
So RD never made a statement as of now?
Not to the FBI, but that evening it appears from the material that they produced and from the agent's testimony is that RD gave a statement that evening, but since that evening has not given another statement. But the FBI said in the future they're all scheduled to give statements, so we'll have to see. All right? Thank you, guys.
First thing Bradford Cohen said, it took the FBI 3 months to make an arrest after the alleged incident occurred. His exact words was, the FBI don't take 3 months if they believe what was said on the night it occurred. And just to add to that, I don't think it's more so they don't believe it. I think they just don't have enough hard evidence to prove it, similar to what Lawyers for Workers said.
This happened back on January 10th. Why is the internet wrong? Well, people who are saying that there's this guy on video pulling a gun on Gucci, if the feds have you on video pulling a gun on Gucci while you're on home confinement, not allowed to have a gun on January 10th, you get arrested January 11th, maybe January 12th. By February, you're cooked. By March, you're already violated and doing your time. This is April. Now, one thing that's to note, I think the fact that we're in April and this came out today is telling, because Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, was fired today, and we need to turn the page quickly. But I think this case seems, we'll see. I think obviously the feds have charged kidnapping, and the reason why you charge kidnapping is because it's not larceny. The guy didn't rob the recording deal rights. You're never going to prove to a jury that Pooh Shiesty had a premeditated plan to fly out to Dallas and then he's going to pull a gun on Gucci and get Gucci to sign away the contract rights. That's ridiculous. Okay? There was a lot of people in the room. Apparently, there was some violence in that room because the most injuries that we've heard of is some guy got choked and there was some abrasions on his neck. Okay, so something happened. But then beyond that, the feds haven't really put anything. Chill out, bro. There's so many ways to defend a case like this. One of the things that I'd be looking out for is what everybody has to say, because if there's no video footage of what happened in the room and there's 6 people in a room, then it's going to be very interesting to see what the 6 people in the room have to say.
Outside looking in, Pooh Shiesty gonna beat this case. According to his lawyer, the government said, once again, they have no hardcore evidence, no video, no guns, no jury. The owner of the studio said he didn't hear or see anything. All they have is Gucci and his team complaint. In fact, they haven't even talked to the victims and heard their side of the story. They just going off the report that was made the day the crime took place. And the last thing he spoke on was Gucci cooperate. He said Gucci gave a statement, whether it was from him directly or his lawyer, gave a statement the day it happened, but he haven't got an interview or talk to the feds yet. In fact, they said they would do interviews with the witnesses and victims in a future date. Now, some may have a question. Is this normal for the feds to wait till close to trial to interview witnesses and get their statements? Well, after I did my research, yes, it can happen, but it's not the most typical approach. Federal prosecutors usually interview witnesses earlier, but there are situations where they delay interviews until closer to trial. And here's 4 reasons why. 1, they building the case first, focusing on documents, phone records, surveillance, and other evidence. 2, they delay interviews to avoid locking witnesses into statements too early. If witnesses change the details later, the defense attorneys can attack their credibility. 3, prosecutors often re-interview witnesses shortly before trial so the testimony is fresh. And the 4th reason, cooperation concerns. In cases involving street crimes and robberies, witnesses sometimes change their story and become uncooperative. Waiting can help prosecutors see who will actually testify and who won't. A guy that go by the name Eldorado Red tell Gucci, do the right thing and do not cooperate. Check it out.
Hey boy, folks say they ain't got no evidence, no camera, no nothing. No weapon, no nothing. Hey John, I'm gonna need you to do like a Spike Lee move and do the right thing, man. You understand me? Yeah, I'm gonna need you to do the right thing, John. They say me and you one of the last one left. No, you ain't build it up 20-some years to let it go out the door like that right there. Let them young nigga have that, man. Live to fight another day. Zone 6, whole Alabama, man. We watching your legacy, man. Let it marinate. Big cheap talk.
In a prior video, I played a clip where Finesse said the feds don't need proof to charge you. All they need is priors and a pattern of your behavior to match the crime. Basically saying, If you have multiple robbery charges and you accused of robbery, in their eyes, you guilty. And it's basically what this next clip is explaining. Although there's no evidence, the judge feels Pooh Shiesty is involved with this case because his similar lengthy criminal history. Check it out, get in the comments and tell me what you think. And if you're enjoying this content, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on all post notifications. It's free. Do it for me.
We're outside federal court here in downtown Dallas for an update on the case that involves the rapper known as Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Jr. After about a 1-hour probable cause hearing in federal court in downtown Dallas, he has been ordered held. The judge deciding that yes, there is probable cause that he was involved in the crimes that have been alleged by the FBI. His defense attorneys argued the FBI does not have the guns they mentioned. They do not have the jewelry that they mentioned that was allegedly stolen. They do not have the contract that they say that he was forcing the other rapper known as Gucci Mane to sign to get Pooh Shiesty, the other rapper, out of his contract. But the judge said the evidence is heavy that he was involved in this, that he does have a lengthy criminal history, including gun violations before. So at this point, Lontrell Williams Jr. is being ordered held in federal custody.
Promo alert, promo alert, promo alert. Today is your boy Eastside Quan. Make sure y'all go follow him on Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that like button, comment, and let him know I sent you. He just dropped the Bring It Back freestyle. And when I say it's one of them ones, it's one of them ones. The link will be down below. Check it out.
I'm fly as a son of a gun, son of a quan. Yeah, bitch, I'm a dunker, fucking out wide as a swan. Guns drawn to infinity and beyond. Open like a 7-Eleven, send a nigga straight to heaven.
Hey, do me a favor. Look down right there to the bottom left and hit that like button for me. Hit that like button right there. I appreciate it. Now continue watching. Promo alert. If you need promo, DM me on Instagram at music101CEO. $30 for one promo video on my YouTube. $50 for 3 promo videos on my YouTube. $70 for 6 promo videos on my YouTube. And $130 for 12 promo videos on my YouTube channel. Make sure y'all tap in and get that promo if you want to win. Charleston White, Rick David, Bruce Cannon comes to the ultimate disrespect.
5 step, I'm the leader of this 8 shit.